All systems operating within normal design parameters. Engage cybernetic generation sequence. Malfunction detected. System overload. Warning. 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 System overload critical. Warning. 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 Warning.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following tag team contest is for the WCW World Tag Team Championship. Sit for one fall. Introducing first the challengers. From Minneapolis, Minnesota, Mean Mike Enos. From Port Tampa, Florida, Dirty Dick Slater. The team of Rock. Ready.
Well, you've seen the footage, and still to come, we will show you more of what transpired recently this past Monday at WCW Monday Nitro on TNT. But Dream, I tell you, I'm going to be very honest with you. I'm very concerned. Any WCW event like this one, anything can happen to anybody.
Well, I tell you what, the mothership right here on Saturday night, a lot of security running around, but a lot of thoughts on what's going on here where the big boys play.
Ladies and gentlemen, their opponents from 110th Street in Harlem, New York. They are the WCW World Tag Team Champions, Booker T, Stevie Ray, Harlem Heat.
Here they come, the World Tag Team Champs, along with sister, and she looks determined, Sherry.
Got him, Miss Miley.
And Colonel Parker. Very interesting tag team matchup here. When you think about Colonel Parker, recently the manager of Rough and Ready, and I say recently, I'm not so sure if they parted ways or not, but depending on what happened last week, I guess they have.
Well, it looked like they did, but Colonel Parker now...
Can you handle it?
Well, see that, the Heat zone, can you handle it? You know, he was instrumental in the Heat, you know, really getting back on top of the game, and Sherry coming in and starting that guidance like she has done in the past. Rough and Ready was just tired of his nonsense and not taking care of business. And speaking of solidarity, this past Monday Nitro,
yes,
we've seen foes, enemy, friends, everybody with a great concerned look on their face here at WCW.
We had announcers leaving us.
Yes.
Bobby the Brain Heater walked right out on us.
Gutless.
Truly, and of course I've been doing this program with the exception of a couple of years, ever since 1985, and I've never witnessed anything like I saw this past Monday in the history of my broadcast career.
We're going to see off and on here on the mothership tonight. We're going to see a lot of that as they start. This should be a good matchup right here. A lot of power. Both guys are rough already trying to prove themselves. But Tony, as we get ready for Hog Wild going into pay-per-view, Hall, Nash, Hollywood, Hulk Hogan, they said there were 4 the other night. You know, maybe it could have been 5 outsiders that did these deeds. But I guarantee you, I'm from the old school. If that's a fight, let's fight. Let's go on with it. I think it's time now that WCW have been taking the blows, start giving some blows.
Rey Mysterio said there were 4, Quattro, 4 men.
He said Quattro is right, brother, as they rammed him like a bow and arrow, like a spear through the truck.
Wow.
I mean, man.
I had never seen anything like that. All right. We will talk about it. We will show you the footage. Who is the 4th man? Is he somewhere amongst us? Is a good question we have. Here's a back elbow. And a big scoop slam. Take a look at the power of Stevie Ray, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah, what Harlem Heat's got going for them is that they have Colonel Parker and Sherry out there. They also on a real big roll right now. And you know, Rough and Ready, their name says it all. They are rough and they are ready, but their game plan won't arrive.
Chokehold into the corner. Of course, it's been the kiss of Sister Sherry that has helped Harlem Heat against this Rough and Ready tag team on Nitro and here on WCW Saturday Night. Fans, watching this match right now, the Steiner Brothers, because next Saturday, 1 week from tonight, at WCW Hog Wild, the Steiners will go after the World Tag Team title. And I'm sure it doesn't matter at all to Scott nor Rick if it's the Harlem Heat or if it's the Rough and Ready team, they just want a shot at the World Tag Team title.
Yeah, I think we have said on numerous occasions, the Steiner Brothers really are on a mission to regain them title. And as you said, it doesn't matter who it is. And we got to really now stop and think about what has to be done. You got to almost say, come on, John, if you're a WCW fan.
Yes.
That NWO stuff, whatever it is, and they're here, like I said, I'm too old to change. If that's a fight, let's fight. Let's stop taking the blows and start giving the blows. I think Hog Wild only on pay-per-view, we're going to give some blows, baby.
New World Order, of course, certainly on the offensive. And at Hog Wild next Saturday, the biggest and baddest that WCW has to offer, the heavyweight champion of the world in the ring, carrying the banner not only of the Dungeon of Doom, but of WCW against Hulk Hogan, Hollywood Hulk Hogan, if you will, and the New World Order. It is next Saturday night, right after Saturday Night Live, and only on pay-per-view.
Well, right there, you know, and speaking of the mothership, we'll be live from Sturgis.
Yes, we will.
We're going to be the silver tonguing it to death out there. You'll be riding in the sidecar. Look at Sherry down, creeped up there on the apron, perched like a panther, ready to scream and snatch, plunder and pillage, right here on Saturday night.
Trying to pick up and down. Nicely done.
Yes, he was.
Fans are into this one. This is our opening bout. It is a return match for the World Tag Title. Nobody home, Mikey knows. Moving out of the way, and here comes Dick Slater.
Did the right thing, made the tag, stayed in there, though, trying to get a double up before the referee gives them the old count out. But Rough and Ready. Now, whoa! The referee got a leg hung in the referee's armpit.
Yeah, and they going at it right now. Still down, Stevie Ray, and therefore Booker T. Or make it Booker T still down. Stevie Ray getting double teamed.
Slater had a pin on Booker T.
He sure did. Booker T still the legal man. Sherry over with Stevie Ray trying to console him. Booker T firing up now on Dirty Dick Slater. Into the ropes. Oh, the heads hit that time. Booker T down, Dick Slater on the outside.
Boy, Slater got that prune look on him. Say, hey, what is Cutter Parker doing here? Look at this.
We're going to get a kiss again.
Boy,
No,
he
we're
is
not.
tired of playing kiss and face with her. Look at the ring, a big power slam. Mike Enos.
Enos, the power slam.
Covering Dickie.
We can have a change in the guard here. Dick Slater's making a cover. Dick Slater's making a cover. Oh, my goodness.
Whoa, baby.
The cane of Colonel Parker down on Dick Slater. It's over.
That is cause for aggravation.
Boy, you're not kidding. There's going to be more said about this one.
Wow.
I can tell you that, fans.
Rough and Ready had them beat.
Yes, they did. They were moments away from being the new World Tag Team Champions. But it's still Harlem Heats.
Now, can you dig it?
Nash Hall, the outsider, Steiner Luger, only on pay-per-view at Hog Wild coming up. And the New World Order and what they tried to do, and if he said there were four, I guarantee you Ray Jr. knew there were four. And who are the other two? But the way they did it, Tony, it wasn't like, whoa, Lord have mercy, look at these devilish women. It was not like one-on-one battle. It was done like in the street. That's why I'm saying, me personally, let's fight, let's go. I mean, our guys got to be ready and get together. And I think by the time this program ends, tonight on Saturday night, you're going to see some solidarity. The looks of each other looking and saying something got to be done. You know what I mean?
Well, I made some comments the other night on WCW Monday Nitro during the first hour where I said, and this is based on what happened a couple of weeks ago, that I thought that Ric Flair was jumping ship, so to speak. And I said that because he did not show up 2 weeks ago.
That's right, we both did.
The limousine parked outside. Ric Flair has always been the type of guy to take advantage of a situation, as you know. And he did wrestle the other night. he did get in the ambulance, as we'll see a little bit later on, with Arn Anderson and with Sting.
Yeah, and Marcus Alexander Bagwell.
Yes.
The young man. And somewhere in that limousine, Sting had a baseball bat in his hand.
Yes,
but somewhere in that ambulance, I mean, there had to be eye-to-eye contact and say, I guarantee you, because I've been there, Tony. I'm telling you, people, I have been in the fights in the streets. I know it is time for us to stop taking the blows and start giving the blows. Come on, John. Pay-per-view. Hog Wild. Cannot wait.
It'll be a pay-per-view for all time. It'll be a pay-per-view. You know, we talked about Bash at the Beach. We didn't know exactly the plan of these outsiders at that time. The plan now that was not evident, was not clear at Bash at the Beach is fundamentally clear.
Yes.
It is clear as the nose on your face.
Go with it.
They want to take over, and we are going to stop them with our biggest and best this coming Saturday, 1 week from tonight. The New World Order. We're going to have, unfortunately, some more paid announcements from those guys a little bit later on.
It's a free country. But let me tell you something right here. Nature Boy Ric Flair, Sting, same ambulance, 2 of their compadres went down. WCW really taking a hardcore look. But still, you are here on Saturday night, and you are going out there and giving it your all. Chavo Guerrero Jr., this young man right here, so much talent. And the bloodline in that young man's a blood stream running right now, I'm telling you, runs deep with championship material. But Nature Boy Ric Flair, he is the master of the game, brother. Master of the game. Let me ask you another question.
Go ahead.
Okay. Hog Wild, pay-per-view. And I know this Monday on TNT, WCW Monday Nitro, the hottest primetime show on television. I know what happened last week. And they ain't much telling what's going to happen this week. But at Hog Wild, Tony, we're going to be there, and the Giants going to have to, and the Hogan and the Giants going to have to look at each other face. I mean, you know what I mean? One-on-one. I told the Giant, take a bat. Take a bat. He said, I'm so big, I don't need a bat, Dream. I said, okay.
Yeah, I tell you, he better. I tell you, it is not going to be one-on-one.
No.
If history, if the recent history proves itself,
yes.
Hogan is not going to come there like the old Hulk Hogan that we used to know, by himself, using the pythons.
Coming through the match.
Right.
Yeah, all that stuff.
Forget
that's
that.
Bull. That's bull.
He'll have the Giant turn his back. The 2 guys are getting from the outside. A 4th or 5th guy will attack him as well. We have to be as a unit. The Giants said it best. We all have to hang together, or we're all going to hang by ourselves.
Yeah, that was good.
Yes,
he was right. He was right. And I asked him about that. As you see.
Oh, what?
Oh, watch out. Whoa!
Woman!
She got me too. I thought she was coming for a kick.
She came right after him and gouged the eyes of Chavo Guerrero Jr. And I tell you, Ric Flair to meet Eddie Guerrero, the relative of Chavo Jr., right hand top of the head for the U.S. title coming up at Hog Wild next Saturday. You know, it is going to be everything the name implies, wild.
Yeah. And we know what's going to happen out there.
Yes.
In the mood of the country and WCW and this New World Order stuff, you know. And let me tell you something, boy, he's a fine on him. Come on, kid. He's a really fine on him right now. He can't make a mistake. This is by far the biggest match of his life, even to stay close. You know what I mean? Make this game close. Well, that just kind of took it on a different playing field. But I asked the Giant, Tony. The Giant confronted me, and I looked up at him about 5 feet in the air. And he said, last week on Saturday night, you questioned would I be ready for this thing because Hogan had done so much. Here we go for the figure 4. Mike got him right here. And I said, well, I got to question you. And I said, I'm going to ask you again, are you ready? And the Giant said, I'm ready for war, brother. I'm ready to go. And he said, I think we all are. I said, okay.
Ric Flair puts the figure 4 on. The question still remains, even though he was in the back, even though he made his way to the ambulance, was he a part of this or not? Is he the type of guy that will attack you from behind in the tournament? Eddie Guerrero's come out.
Yeah, well, he had that figure 4, could have caused damage. Eddie Guerrero now up in his face. Come on, homie, get in his face. Let's just start fighting right now. Watch out.
Look at this. Now, you can't tell me turning your back. I know it's always been a trademark of Ric Flair, but it's also been a very stern trademark of the New World Order. As of late, Eddie is not backing down at all. He and Ric Flair going in tooth and nail.
Yeah.
Right hand.
Yeah.
A little prelude to next Saturdays. Hog Wild. Eddie getting the best. Flair chopping. Eddie punching. Flair goes down. The United States champion.
title and really making a statement right here on Saturday night. Put it on him, baby.
He's showing Flair that this can happen to you.
All right.
And woman is in.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
That'll break it.
Yes, he hooked that figure four on the Nature Boy Ric Flair, though.
High voltage.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following tag team contest is set for one fall.
He's gonna put a shot at Nastyville. Yes. Here we go. Sturgis, baby. Sturgis. Yes. Right there. Right there.
Certainly the New World Order making its presence known at our last pay-per-view, WCW's Bash at the Beach. And now, tonight, at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, when we go to pay-per-view and we go to Hog Wild, it's a big chance for the NWO to make its mark, to make its statement. WCW this past Monday on WCW Monday Nitro, and I say it and I'll say it again, unprecedented that we saw wrestlers become security men, standing together, standing toe-to-toe. You take a look at the Nasty Boys.
I tell you what, they are geared up. They are right for the night, and I'll tell you something. Yes, Eric Bischoff, you were there for the whole Nitro. Eric Bischoff not seen then. The New World Order now claiming everything belongs to them. They get an opportunity at Hog Wild because this is freedom, and we are the best at what we do. But on the mothership tonight, right here on TBS WCWC, the Nasty Boys are geared up in their ring attire. Look like they just came down the mountain.
You're not kidding. And brought something back with them, a couple of trophies as well. The Nasty Boys are out here, and here we go. Still unclear as to where they stand. There is no question in my mind where guys like Scott Norton, where the Faces of Fear stand, where Sting and Luger stand, where the Giant stands, where the members of the Dungeon of Doom stand with WCW. They proved that on WCW Monday Nitro. Later on tonight, it's going to be nothing less than a collision in the Black Hills as we bring you live Hog Wild, only on pay-per-view. This is our 2-hour pregame show.
Yeah.
And there's no question of all the years, Dusty, that we've been on WCW Saturday Night, the most unique Saturday night telecast of all time.
What a setting it is. We talk about it. You see it at home. Wish you were here. So much going down. But you mentioned the Giant a while ago. Let me say, he went on record and said, listen, if you have the audacity, Hulk Hogan, to come out here, bring it on. If you even dare come out here, bring it on. We stood up on our haunches on Nitro and said, let's do this thing. And now the waiting's over. We here.
It will be Rage of the new, young, up-and-coming team of High Voltage against Jerry Sags. And I tell you, knowing how the Nasty Boys like to start a match, Rage was fighting back immediately.
Oh, yeah, because he understands that clubbing could go on, there's beatings could happen, and it's not a pretty sight when you're in there with the Nasty Boys.
You hear them revving up those machines. They literally have their motorcycles at ringside here.
Nice move right, yeah, nice move right there, yeah. When you don't get off the mark, what I'm talking about in an offensive game plan, if you don't throw the first punch, then you're going to be behind from the get-go, and that's what's happened right here as the Nasty Boys are ragtagging them right here on Saturday night.
The youngster Rage puts the foot up. Here's the tag, and here comes Chaos. Big clothesline, how about that? And the drop kick, he got swatted away, though.
Yeah, he did, but he's right back to his feet with another drop kick. And these two young men, they're trying to get their mark. They understand how important it is, and for these guys, opportunity is knocking for them right here on Saturday night.
Rage with a shoulder from the top, cover one, got a 1 count that time. In this telecast, we have a big 6-man tag here on Saturday night. Diamond Dallas and the Renegade, Arn Anderson in action. That's all here live from Sturgis on Saturday night as we count down now literally the hours, the minutes to Hog Wild pay-per-view straight up at 8 o'clock.
Clubber! There is clubbing in Sturgis, South Dakota. That was serious clubbing by the masters of the clubber, the Nasty Boys, in control, counting down. New World Order coming in, pronouncing and saying that we are what's going on. WCW finally standing up on their back feet, finally throwing a blow like they should have in my opinion, from the get-go. And tonight on pay-per-view on Hog Wild, after Saturday night, oh, man, we still ain't through here, though.
We've got a lot of Saturday night to go, ladies and gentlemen. Good to have you with us wherever you are. And back to the attack once again. Here's the exchange of Nasty Boys, former World Tag Team Champions. Hallmark of double teaming. They are two of the best in the sport at it. And that's why they are former champions. That's why they want to get the belts back. But where do they stand as far as the NWO is concerned? Still very unclear.
Well,
here comes Knobs.
Yeah, they said once a friend, always a friend. Hulk Hogan, I have known from the time he walked in down in Florida and we talked. Friends for a long time. But let me tell you something. That friendship went out the window when he turned his back on the world, if you will.
Into the corner.
Yeah, somebody got to make a stand. If the Nasty Boys want to make a stand the other way, they need to go ahead and do it and get out of the big time at WCW where the big boys play.
The exchange once again. It's Jerry Sags back in as Knobs took the measure. That time, one of the members of actually Rage is still down on the apron. Actually down on the mats. He's down. It's basically a 1-on-2 here.
Watch out, gonna get a blivet right off the top.
The big blivet. 1, 2, 3. Nasty Boys win it here on Saturday night. Here at Sturgis, here live on TBS. Wow. Nasty Boys. That was decisive.
Yeah, they went in meaning business.
And there you see New World Order. Larry Zbyszko coined that one this past Monday.
Yeah.
WCW Monday Nitro, and that's the sentiment of millions of fans around the world. Bikers enthusiasts are here, and we are so glad you're with us on WCW Saturday Night. Also want to remind our fans that WCW Monday Nitro will be coming to you live at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 2 hours from Casper, Wyoming this coming Monday.
I'll tell you what, Tony, that gave me chills there when the Stinger laid it on the line. You know, it reminded me of that movie that John Wayne was in, The Duke, when he looked across at them guys. They could be the New World Order. And they shouted back and they said, that's big talk for a one-eyed fat man. And then John Wayne went ahead and took him out. So let me tell you what, the scene is set, boys. I'm talking New World Order. Hall and Nash started this whole thing. Hogan betrayed a world, not just a country. And now the WCW is ready to go to battle right here in Sturgis, South Dakota.
They keep us really off balance, Dream, and I say they, meaning the New World Order, keeping us, WCW, off balance. We saw right at the top of the program that note that Ray, being Rey Mysterio Jr., was right. There are 4.
Sure they are.
How about 5? See you at Sturgis. See you at Hog Wild. Ladies and gentlemen, 8 o'clock Eastern Time when we take the air on WCW's Hog Wild live from here in Sturgis. The question is, who else will we see?
Yeah, well, I guarantee you, they're looming around. I have not yet seen the New World Order, usually in town, if you will, but I know they're here. And you got to think about what's going through the mind of the giant, the young man in this sport. His task is to lead and stand up for WCW. He's the man that's chosen to face Hulk Hogan only on pay-per-view tonight at Hog Wild.
The Giant and Hulk Hogan is your main event, 8 o'clock Eastern Time.
I just say that. I just went through a whole soliloquy.
Well, I'm just kind of reinforcing what you said.
Oh. Well,
you can understand that.
In the ring, Duke of Earl Bob and young Alex Wright won the key in Germany's own. Opportunity knocking on his door now. Yeah, he's waiting on him.
Wasting no time.
Giving him a fist of sandwich.
Heard the chant of USA from the thousands upon thousands of fans here. And hey, there's a lateral press. 1, 2, 3. He beat him.
And he beat him quick.
Did he ever?
Yeah, he popped that one out. A good victory. Alex Wright stood up on his haunches right here, battling the forces of evil right here in the Black Hills at Sturgis, South Dakota.
From the Dungeon of Doom to Sturgis.
Yes.
We are revving up.
Ready
for WCW Hog Wild. Braun the Leprechaun.
I'm going to tell you what, he looked a very evilly look on him, and he had a lot of fear in his eye when they be coming out there running. And I guarantee you, now then you're talking about the hostile takeover, your New World Order, WCW. Now the Horsemen and the Dungeon of Doom are fighting, and everybody's fighting. Some say it's a good situation, but bottom line, speaking of Dungeon of Doom, here comes some bad, bad terror. And I'm talking about in the eyes of one Taskmaster, the meanest player of them all.
Well, as we get set for the six-man tag team match.
What happened to that video a while ago?
I want to apologize to our fans watching on TBS. You understand we lost our video signal back to Atlanta recently, and we right now are investigating how that happened, Dream. And
yeah, well, don't be naive. Investigating. I'm going to tell you what. The New World Order has made a point of saying they will disturb whatever needs to be disturbed. I still have not talked to Eric Bischoff about the situation of him not being on Nitro. And when we're getting blank shots on the television that is heard around the world and seen around the world, you can say that we're trying to find out who did it. But let me tell you something rotten somewhere, and I'm saying New World Order. That's all. That's just my opinion. And you know,
Braun the Leprechaun is out.
Yeah,
He may take a bite out of someone. This is one of the wildest men that we have ever seen in WCW. He's been attacking. If you look at those,
he's quick too.
And he needs an orthodontist too.
Yes, sir, and he needs a teeth guy too. I'll tell you what, look at him. He's quick as a cat to come out there. And we done seen him introduced that in the Dungeon of Doom. Mr. Powers making a little move right there on me. Ming Barbarian and the Taskmaster from the Dungeon of Doom.
Dropkick Jim Powers into this match against Ming and the Barbarian commit. So you're saying to me you think that...
No, I'm not saying I think. I say I've watched this thing transpire. I would not put... They censored me on a few things that I'd said because my feelings are the way I feel. And the bottom line is, I believe that this is too pretty a day. You know what I mean? This day is so pretty that wires hooked up everywhere. So... whatever it is, I'm just saying that the New World Order, as far as I'm concerned, is to blame. That's been my opinion. And my opinion is the Barbarian will stomp a mud hole in all three of these guys right here.
Would you take a look at the Taskmaster, if you will, the leader, so to speak, of the Dungeon of Doom, all decked out here for Hog Wild. Ladies and gentlemen, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Oh, foot right to the face of Joe Gomez. We will bring you Hog Wild Live, where the Giant and Hulk Hogan will collide. Not only for the WCW World Heavyweight title, but for supremacy in this sport.
As this match goes on to just plumbering and stomping and kicking, we will say the New World Order. Talk about the outsiders, Hall and Nash, Sting and Luger. That's the matchup I'm waiting to see also. You take a look at Nature Boy Ric Flair with the challenge of a lifetime from young Eddie Guerrero for the U.S. title. Medusa, Bull Nakana, the steel of the Harley against some other made bike trash right here at Hog Wild only on pay-per-view. You don't want to miss it. Just like Barbarian missed that, but not for long.
As we have our countdown to Hog Wild, so good to have you with us here on Saturday night. Mark Starr goes in, and Mark Starr blocks that one. Nicely done. Now the youngster from Florida, Starr, is up on the top turnbuckle.
Man, he didn't just like barely kick him off.
No, he
really kicked him off. It's like last night when I put that that person wanted to ride in the sidecar with me and I made you stand on the corner for a while.
Yeah, I remember
that.
that.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, the top.
Right before you got that second tattoo that you be taking home, Louis. I can't wait.
Boy, I can't.
I can't wait till you go home.
I can't.
And I can't wait for the night on pay-per-view.
It is.
If it gets wild enough, you know, that's kind of uncensored. That pay-per-view, you know what I mean? You see a lot of the real, true color of Sturgis, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
and maybe you can show us what that tattoo is on pay-per-view.
Right now, the side of Mark Starr's head is in the front row.
Never no question. Yeah, and never no question.
Members of the Dungeon Doom out here, they are victorious and they are a force in World Championship Wrestling.
Bubba laid him to waste. Take a look here at Diamond Dallas Page as we do count down to Hog Wild, only on pay-per-view. Matched up right here. Dallas Page, Lord of the Ring, if you will. Always knows what's at stake. Him, among others, have stood up and talked about this New World Order. Hall and Nash, the outsiders, started it all. Hulk Hogan sold out the world, my friend. But let me tell you something, Tony, and people with insight sitting out there on their couches right now need to understand. Hulk Hogan has been on the biggest events in the history of this sport. He has gained, there's the diamond cutter, and he's not going to get up. He has gained a reputation of being a man at the place. Can the Giant, can the Giant stand up to Hulk Hogan?
Ladies and gentlemen, the following tag team contest is set for one fall. Introducing first, from Minneapolis, Minnesota, the Mightiness. From Fort Campbell, Florida, Dirty Dick Slater, the Team of Rock, and ready.
The footage from Hog Wild Dream that we just witnessed, absolutely revolting. Hulk Hogan takes the WCW World title, desecrates the belt, attacks his longtime friend, the Booty Man. And there's another part to that story. His first title defense was just 2 days ago at the Clash of the Champions. We'll show you how Hulk Hogan retained the title in NWO fashion, I might add.
Well, I tell you what, Tony, we have to understand here on Saturday night that New World Order seem to be helping each other and watching each other's back. Sooner or later, we got to do that ourselves.
Accompanied to the ring by Jeeves and Lord Steven Regal. From Yorkshire, England, Squire David Taylor. From Stoke-on-Trent, England, Robert Eaton, New York, the Blue Bloods.
Dave Taylor, Earl Robert Eaton, the Blue Bloods, along with
Chad.
with Jeeves. WCW Saturday Night comes to you this week from Colorado Springs, Colorado, the home of the Air Force Academy, the home of the United States Olympic Committee. USOC, how about that?
I'll tell you what, it has been great out here in Colorado ever since we left Sturgis, South Dakota, with a bad taste in our mouth that the New World Order, as you said, went ahead and graffitied the most prestigious title in all the sports. Who will stop the New World Order? And let me tell you something else. How many more will come? Blue Bloods, rough and ready, good matchup on a Saturday night. But Tony, one thing is for sure. WCW has to get ready to go to war with the New World Order.
All right, here we go, the opening bout of WCW Saturday Night. Good to have you with us. We have a tremendous program, including the Four Horsemen and a big 8-man tag later on. The Nasty Boys are here. Harlem Heat, Steiner Brothers for the World Tag Team title. The Giant against Jim Powers and much more, and now rough and ready. Two men determined to get back in the title picture after what has happened with Colonel Parker, their former manager promoter here.
Better than that, I had brought this up before, and I'll bring it up here on the mothership this Saturday night. Nick Patrick, I believe, cost the Steiner Brothers the World Tag Team titles at that big match in this past Clash from Denver, Colorado. Opportunity knocking though at the Steiners door tonight against Harlem Heat. Two teams really ripping and ready to go for that title match right here on Saturday night. And as you said, rough and ready Blue Bloods waiting in the wings. Big victory for whichever team can pull it out here tonight.
No question about that. Neutral position, both men go back.
Both men go back.
To the corner, Randy Anderson checks in now. And Dave Taylor.
Ooh.
Wow, slapped him right in the face that time.
And a kick right back in the belly welly.
Big headbutt.
I'm gonna tell you what, this Mike Enos, he's a mean one, and he's in there. He's got a partner that's a mean one. We're talking about Dirty Dick Slater. You see the great wrestling move right there? Blue Bloods really astute down on that mat. But right there is the old equalizer. That's what needs to be done to the New World Order. When they turn it back, go ahead and hit him from behind.
Wow, the reverse jawbreaker that time. Almost like a neck breaker from Mike Enos of the Rough and Ready Tag Team. Here's a tag. Earl Robert Eaton comes in. Whoa, right hand. Right to the side of the head. And here's a whip into the corner. Back elbow.
Got him coming out. Dukerville Bob going up top.
And really caught it.
Oh, yes.
Big leg drop that time.
But you see that? Dick Slater ain't got no rules. There ain't no regulations here. They just are going on about their business. Rough and ready. Now you see from behind, go snatch him up.
Uh-oh, they got Earl Robert Eaton there. Left hand. It hits Slater. Slater goes down. Enos sending Earl Robert in, who goes over the top rope.
Well, Slater had enough way about him even though he got nailed by his own partner right there, so go ahead and get rid of Duke of Earl, Bob Eaton out to the floor. Great tag team work right here. And I know I got big news for you tonight. Whoa, yes.
Vertical suplex in 1, 2, 3, it's over. Tell you, that was a big win for him.
Yeah, big victory for Rough and Ready. As we talked about moving up that tag team ladder, we're going to see a big tag team match tonight.
All right, our thanks to Mean Gene Okerlund, and apparently the outsiders and their interference notwithstanding, Colonel Parker and Sister Sherry in the midst of a heated love affair here. But now they've got to focus their attention on the job at hand. The Steiner brothers have been slighted repeatedly now. Scott Steiner very angry that he feels he had the win the other night, and Nick Patrick stopped the match. The Steiner brothers now have their shot at Harlem Heat, team against team for the World Tag Team title here on Saturday night.
I like that sign right there, the New World Order with the big cross going between it right there. No New World Order. No, it's WCW with the big boys play. I've been looking forward to this one. Harlem Heat with Sherry seem to really click. They seem to have themselves together. Colonel Parker in the mix, always at disarray. Heated love affair. Heated love affair on Saturday night, the mothership. And let's see now if the Steiner brothers come out of smoking. They got to get quick, go for them right away. Don't let Harlem Heat get in the game plan. That's the key here.
Stevie Ray, Booker T, the World Tag Team Champions. Colonel Parker, Sister Sherry, arm in arm, making their way for this World Tag Team title bout. Good to have you with us. The Dream said he had a scoop for us.
Yes.
You heard it on Saturday morning. We found out that Dream has talked to someone who says that this Monday on Nitro, live 8 o'clock Eastern time, the 4th member, or maybe the 5th member of this team, this new world order, this organization, will rear his ugly head. Coming up live, we may find out who he is.
Yes, we may. And right here now, we're going to see Van Parton who starts this thing. Good move. Scott Steiner really got himself together. But right here, if I wanted somebody to start something, it'd be the baddest dog in the pound. Rick Steiner, yeah, nailing on him. That's it. Get off fast. That's what I said.
Pounding away on the head, pounding the man down to the mat. Here is Rick Steiner trying to get, and the man tried to put a brakes on. Steiner would have no part of it. Rick Steiner going for the cover. He wants the tag belt. He got a 1 count out of that.
Well, I tell you what, you need to take him out of the game plan. That's what they did right off the get-go. Rick Steiner started this thing, the baddest dog in the pound, as I said, but he can really take it. The punishment he can take is unbelievable. He got cut off here. But I tell you, Harlem Heat got stung early. Almost got a pin right early. I'm talking about the Steiner brothers.
Steiner brothers still smarting as to what happened. The replay of the clash is this coming Thursday, the 22nd at 10:35 p.m. Eastern time here on TBS. See it for yourself. Were they robbed or not? We're going to find out. Scott Steiner, boy, I tell you, he's got a lot of intensity out of the Clash of Champions, doesn't he?
Well, he's turned into one of the greatest athletes ever put on the pad taps. I'm talking about Scott Steiner. And I've seen him grow and grow and grow, and I guarantee you, he's another one that can dish it out and take it. Harlem Heat now, though, seems to turn old Mo around in that corner and starting to get the game plan together.
The
wow.
whip in.
Boy, he threw him in, didn't he?
How about that move?
Looked like a Nolan Ryan fastball.
It sure did. Here's a pickup over the top. Raw power exhibited by Scott Steiner here on Saturday night. To the attack once again, Booker T. Remember, it was the Frankensteiner that had Booker T down, and it was 1 count away from Steiners winning the tag belts. How about that spin wheel kick?
Yeah, he got him with a spin wheel kick, as you said. Stopped him once again. Every time Steiner seemed to get off the mark, Harlem Heat is there for the stop right here on the mothership on Saturday night.
Now remember, Booker T with the chokehold, if he gets disqualified, he doesn't care. He'll retain the belt. Scott Steiner, the foot to the face. Scott Steiner trying a full Nelson here. And into a full Nelson, into almost like a dragon suplex over the top.
He needs to roll him over, taking too much time, get a cover right there.
That's right.
That's the only bad thing about that move right there. He didn't cover him right away.
Enabling Stevie Ray to make a save here. This bout is for the World Tag Team Championship, and you're watching it exclusively on Saturday night. The man slipped away, enabling the foot to come up. And that staggered Scott Steiner. Spin wheel kick once again.
Leaping spin wheel kick.
Leaping spin wheel kick.
Living spin wheel kick.
Yes, we said it 3 times, fans.
Yeah.
Up on top.
A sienna. Oh, that's left over from Sturgis, South Dakota.
Is that ever? And here we go, all 4 men going at it.
That's what I'm afraid of right here, gonna break loose. Trying to get him right just like he did the other night. Can he get him in the Frankensteiner?
Uh-oh, there you see the Nasty Boys.
What is this all about?
The Nasty Boys attacking Rick Steiner. Oh, they posted Rick Steiner. I think as sure.
Look at that. Tony.
They have attacked everyone here ringside. Over the top goes Scotty Steiner.
Trying to club a little mini clubbing going on right there. Watch out. There's a wild woman running in there.
Oh, my goodness, they threw Sherry down and out.
My good address come right up over her vitals. I guarantee you that she went right outside there. Man, oh, man.
Oh, Colonel Parker over to check on Sherry as she goes down. This match has been thrown out.
Let me tell you something real quick. Did you notice what happened? On that disqualification, the referee did not call it till he seen the guy hit the ring. I'm talking about the Nasty Boys. Does that ring a bell to you?
That rings a bell to me.
Okay.
We have an irate Colonel Parker. They said the Nasty Boys are back and we want a title shot. Parker wants to say something here. We're going to have to listen in to what he has to say. Listen.
Let me tell you something, you 2 big turbo guns. You're gonna get out here and you're gonna get your comings for this. I'm gonna see all of me hospitalizing both of you.
Fans, we're gonna be back on Saturday night. Stay with us. And here he comes, Dream.
I'm gonna tell you what, you got a ring full right here. I have seen some choke slams before. At this past Clash of Champions on Thursday night, never seen a man bounce back like the Giant did in the choke slam. But Mr. Powers better be ready for the most awesome force I still believe in WCW. I'm talking about the man they call the Giant.
Who is scheduled to face an injured Macho Man Randy Savage coming up this Monday on Nitro. Everyone falls down, falls prey to the choke slam. Had it not been for the gold belt up against the side of his head, Hulk Hogan would have fallen into the choke slam and Hog Wild as well.
Yeah.
And you can hit him with anything.
Nothing.
He is more determined than ever before. I've never seen him like this, Dream.
And Powers is a big man, and he was laying him right there.
Oh!
That was just a throw across the ring is what that was. Layman term, that ain't no Mike Tenay call.
That's right.
That was just a layman term. I'm going to throw your butt across the ring, and that's what happened here on Saturday night. Choke slam up.
Look how high Powers is.
Yes, sir. In the words of Willie Nelson, turn out the light. This party's over, baby.
Down he goes with the choke slam. And an arrogant, nonchalant cover, sending a message right to Hulk Hogan. Sending a message right to the New World Order.
Wow.
This is the man.
Wow.
No one gets up from the choke slam. The Giant.
Hogan, I am not going away.
Well, we know that.
You woke up a sleeping giant, Hogan.
Fall Brawl featuring War Games is rapidly approaching. The date is Sunday, the 15th of September. I want to also let the fans know, and we have had quite a rush on the box office and Ticketmaster in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Great seats are still available. And I know especially now that Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, Sting, and Lex Luger will be going up against the New World Order in a match where submit, surrender, survival is the key here. It is going to be tremendous, and we will go back to the control center with Mean Gene Okerlund later on in this 2-hour program. We cannot wait for Fall Brawl.
The War Games, what an event on pay-per-view.
This match is for the WCW World Television title. Squire David Taylor, a member of the Blue Bloods. You saw Regal a couple of segments ago, going up now against the television champion. the total package, Lex Luger.
Well, this is another example of what has to go on here at WCW with the big boys play. Always challenged, always competitive. Right here you see one of the finest mat wrestlers to come out of Europe, come out of England. We're talking about Squire David Taylor against our total package, if you will, WCW World Television Champion Lex Luger. This thing could have ramifications about what goes on down the road. But that's what's happening here. WCW, we got to play. We own with our business. My other take on that situation, you keep talking about it. Sting's in a situation to where he wanted to take a shot and say, let's get this new world order. And he allowed himself to ally himself with the Nature Boy Ric Flair and Ian Anderson, and I wouldn't trust Ric Flair as far as I could throw a cow chip.
Well, you know, I know you speak from experience, Dream.
I know.
And I've said some things about Ric Flair, but I really think after what we saw, if you recall on a live telecast we had from Sturgis here on Saturday night, that up-close interview about Flair, I really think that he is 100% behind World Championship Wrestling. Every wrestler has their own agenda. Every wrestler wants to be on top, okay?
Yeah.
For Ric Flair to get back on top, he is the U.S. champ. He is the #1 contender. He doesn't need to worry about going through Luger or Sting anymore. He has one man. If he wants to get back on top, that's Hulk Hogan. Therefore, I think his motives will be with WCW as Paul brought.
A nice move here by Luger and a nice analogy of what's going on. But once again, I must say, the way to be the best at what you are, he's gonna have to beat Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan, no matter what you say, the snake in the grass that he turned into with his new world order, bah humbug, boola boola stuff. Bottom line is, you gotta beat Hogan, you gotta beat Hall and Nash. Our guys gotta step to the plate. And I don't believe you can do that standing in a cage that I had been in 48 times, war game, that I had been carried out and airlifted with broken ankle, that I have been stitched up, the most dangerous thing in all of sports, and allow yourself to these two guys, these horsemen that hate you deep down more than anything in the world. I just don't believe that. I believe the explosive situation that we will have in Fall Brawl will be without compare for 1996. Well, you cannot compare anything to it in 96. And back to the match. I'm sorry, but I got off. You asked me, and I told you.
Squire David Taylor is sandwiched in the corner by Lex Luger. Luger now will whip him into the corner once again. Here comes Luger.
Whoa.
There goes Squire David Taylor. Got the boot up into the face. Luger, David Taylor.
And you don't see David Taylor go up top too much.
No.
He's a ground wrestler.
He really is. He takes flight.
You know, mat wrestler. And when you do something that you're not used to doing, that's what happens. Getting ready to rack him up. Trying for the rack. Right here on the mothership on Saturday night.
Lex Luger, the total package rack. Squire David Taylor, they're on their feet, and this one is over. Luger, still the TV champ. Awesome win here on WCW Saturday night. Volcano and Medusa, two ladies who know each other quite well. This is their third match. Medusa has 2 wins on Volcano. And, you know, Sonny Ono, who's been a big factor in the success of athletes from New Japan Pro Wrestling and Japanese athletes in general in WCW, brings this lady in once again. Even though these things have happened to her, you can't deny her ability in the ring.
No, I'm gonna tell you what, she is like a goddess, if you will, in her native country. I mean, she is like royalty. She's like King Griffith Jr. over there. I mean, little people follow her around everywhere. She's a great athlete. Bottom line, both matches with Medusa, this here, the rubber match, the best 2 out of 3, I guess. But both of Medusa won by the skin of her teeth, and both of them were controversial. I mean that. And what does Bobby Heenan say about this hairdo? She's the only woman that can wear Abraham Lincoln's lid.
That's what he said.
That's for you, Bobby Brain,
right.
my man.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to remind you, our thanks to Bobby Heenan and Gene Oakland for the brand new main event this morning. Kind of a pregame show through the entire weekend, including Monday Nitro. The new WCW Pro debuts tomorrow night. The Dream,
5:05.
Chris Cruz, and Larry Zbyszko, like you said, at 5:05 p.m. Eastern Time on TBS. The Pro moves to Sunday night.
Very excited about that situation right here. And Medusa needs to understand that both the game plans were good in there with Bull Nakano before, but in one, like I say, in one different time, Sonny Ono caused one of the watch him nunchuck. She got nunchuck.
And look, Randy Anderson arguing with Sonny Ono as the nunchucks hit Medusa right in the midsection.
I kind of double her over, poor little thing.
Watch out.
Girl.
Yanks the hair and drags her down. Oh, that looks so painful, Dream.
It does look painful. I know.
It's a wonder more.
Remember that night we were in Omaha?
I've never been in Omaha with you.
Yes, you have.
Don't start with me. In the corner. Here it is again. Oh!
What did Lord think of that tattoo?
Oh, my goodness. She didn't like it, actually. She'll get over it. Stepping right on the forearm there of Medusa. And there's Bull Nakano so many ways to injure a person. The nunchuck's just one of them. And Medusa characteristically fighting back. This lady has a lot of fire and vigor. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, but Bull Nakano is the bigger of the two. And I believe, I was just going to say that if you'll let me do my part, which is color. Okay, she is more powerful. Now go here.
Yanking the hair once again. You know, that move looks so painful. I'm surprised that more men don't use that hold. Just yanking by the hair and throwing down. Or maybe bite him in the scalp, for crying out loud. Did you see
what are you talking about?
Did you see what she was doing?
Biting in the scalp.
In the scalp. Bite a chunk out of her noggin. Here's a 1, 2.
You think biting in the scalp is any different than taking somebody over and raising the guy's armpit and rubbing his nose in it? Yeah. I mean, the girl's just as bad as the boys. Yeah, you know what I mean?
You're not kidding.
I'm telling you, and there's some girls worse than the boys.
Oh, you're not kidding.
And that worse word ain't good, so it's at home you teachers don't get mad. Is she trying here? Is this the some type of, what is this?
It's almost
a
like
scorpion, deadlock. No, into a bow and arrow.
That's exactly what it is.
Wow,
a
that's
standing
painful.
bow and arrow is what it is, and she's pulling back. Medusa has the legs grapevine, almost like a Texas cloverleaf combination.
Yeah, and Mike Tenay was here, he would say that's a Dungeness crab or something like that. You know what I mean?
Mike Tenay is the Wrestling Insider, the man who's on the hotline 2 times a week. And the man who joins us.
Gene Oakland.
That's exactly right. The man who joins us on our pay-per-view telecast. Over the top goes Medusa. Here comes Bull Nakano. Medusa pulls her down to the floor.
When she pulled that rope there, when she went over, Bull Nakano's weight took out, but Medusa helped a little bit. High risk maneuver off top.
Connects. Medusa from the top. Sending Bull Nakano down. Watch out. He's got him by the hair.
Get your hands off her.
Oh, my. Allowing a big sledgehammer blow from Bull Nakano. And watch out now. Into the steps.
Well, that was a pointed. You know, she got the point of that right there in her hip bone, and that really hurt. I'm telling you, it's like a stone bruise on your hip. You can't stand on your feet with a stone bruise, and you can't sit on your butt top.
Well, you're not kidding.
If you got a stone bruise.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In the words of Forrest Gump, butt top.
Medusa comes out with an armbar. This is a submission hold, and Bull Nakano saw that coming. She got to the ropes.
Yeah, she did. Bull Nakano did the right thing. But I guarantee you, Medusa got a handful tonight. I really mean, they got it rolled up. Trying to get it.
Oh, 1, 2. Did not get her.
That was close. He was right there. I guarantee I'm glad to see one of our referees still in the ball game.
Sending Medusa in. She connects with the middle turnbuckle, but missed that time. Uh-oh. This big lady's going out, but this could be trouble. Medusa! How about that head scissor?
How about that head scissor? Got her over right there, too. Now can she put her weight? Hitting them ropes coming off. Up top.
Into a powerbomb. 1,
Look at the ropes.
2. She got the ropes. And 3. She's got the win.
Bull Nakano beat Medusa right here on Saturday night. Look at Sonny Ono.
A powerbomb.
Oh, man.
They embraced. She also used the ropes.
Excited.
And Medusa.
Oh, look at this. Get away from here.
Medusa's still smarting. She hit the back of her head hard on the mat. But Bull Nakano with Sonny Ono pulls out a big win. of the Ultimo Dragon.
The Ultimo Dragon's a great athlete. Yeah, the points to be made here is actually right there at this past Nitro. See what I'm saying? In a fight, right? WCW got to go on the wall. New World Order got to be stopped, and the way to do that is beacon guy.
The Ultimate Dragon with a sensational move from the top turnbuckle. Look at his quickness. Truly a man that, oh, there's JL with a great move. These two matchmen are going at it, and down goes the Dragon on the outside.
We have seen JL look really good, Tony, and so we understand that there's quickness of both these guys here, and Sonny Ono in the corner of the Dragon, but I guarantee you this is a really fine matchup here on Saturday night.
Into the midsection. Good go behind. Oh, look at this, if you will.
Go ahead and try to roll him up now.
Slot. JL held the ropes. Ducking that time is Ultimate Dragon. JL tripped up by Sonny Ono.
Good call. And who is refereeing this match?
Nick Patrick is admonishing Sonny Ono now. That's all he can do. And I'm not trying to defend Nick Patrick.
No, me neither. And I'm not trying to belittle him any more than what's happened. Because Nick Patrick, to me, was the cream of the crop. He is the senior official at WCW. And that is a key point. WCW where the big boys play, not NWO.
Absolutely.
But other key point is the moves that he made the last few weeks. Two of them for sure said his mind has been changed because of financial arrangements. I believe that. So that's my opinion. Maybe he called this match right down the middle. Maybe he called them all right down the middle. Maybe it's a figment of the dream's imagination.
Well, you never know. I don't know. It just, I can tell you right now, the NWO has really, in many ways, tried to take WCW apart at the seams. And as you have been able to tell on Nitro, on these programs, on Saturday night, on the main event on Pro, on Worldwide, wherever we are, that WCW is attempting to pull itself back together. Oh! The foot was up in the chin of the Ultimate Dragon, and that attempt came to the forefront, and we will show you the footage, the entire footage later on, of the acceptance by Ric Flair and Arn Anderson, Sting and Lex Luger, to team at Fall Brawl War Games. Nobody home for that now, as the Ultimate Dragon moved out of the way.
Well, Ultimate Dragon really, to me, is a little bit quicker than JL.
Showing it right there, Dream.
And he has the fine art of having Sonny Ono, if you will, over there too. And that, whoa!
How about that?
Watch out, though, he's gonna come back and get it again.
Springboard. Boy, he picked his shot there, didn't he? Good move, JL. Again. Boy, he is just so quick.
Yeah, you know, the Dragon, it looks like it's effortless. You know what I mean? Everything he does looks like he is just floating through air.
You're seeing two of the top cruiserweights in the entire world. And of course, the cruiserweight division headed up by the champ, Rey Mysterio Jr.
The little phenomena, I call it, from Mexico.
Who at Fall Brawl will face one of his true arch enemies, Super Callo, a young man from Mexico who participates in action there on the AAA circuit. He'll be coming to the United States to face Rey Mysterio Jr. at Fall Brawl. And there's a head scissor takeover by the Dragon. 1, 2, and JL just will not stay down there. Keep in mind, JL went a long way in that tournament. He went all the way to the semifinals of the tournament.
Yeah, and he is no stranger to the Dragon. So bottom line is, whoa!
German suplex, 1, 2, and no!
If JL cops him a win here on Saturday night, brother, he's right there for a title shot. I guarantee you.
He was a half second away right there, up on top. JL, no sir. Ultimate Dragon, the quickness that we've talked about, step over the arm bar, rolls him through, 1, 2, and JL got out of that one.
Almost had him in a little Granby roll, Oklahoma roll, if you will, over the deal, but had that arm hook. Backward suplex right now, got him on the bridge.
German suplex to a bridge, rolls him up, 1, 2. Did he get? Yes, he did. How about that?
How about that?
He changed his position in the middle in 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
I've never seen that,
No,
ever.
that's hard to change positions in the middle.
And a
Of
lot
the 1, 2, 3.
And a lot of times referees will stop the count when they move off of the man on the 1, 2, 3. Nick Patrick did not. He was still counting 1, 2, 3.
I ain't touching it.
See my flying dragon!
Here we go, and we should. Oh, wait a minute! The Steiners and the Nasty Boys scheduled in this next tag team bout, and we got a fight going already, and apparently started back in the locker room area here.
I'll tell you what, where's Scott Steiner?
I have no idea where Scotty is.
I'm gonna tell you what they put in the boots to Rick Steiner, the dirtiest dog in the pound, and where's Scott Steiner?
Wait a minute. Let's take. We got a camera back there. There's Scott. He's laid out already in the back.
Man, viciously attacked, obviously. Now they are really ragtagging. One Rick Steiner right here, the Nasty Boys.
Scott laid out right in the entryway there, and now in the ring, two men taking on Rick Steiner. The Nasty Boys have really cranked it up as they prepare now for their shot.
They clubbing.
As the shot at the World Tag Team title at Fall Brawl.
Yeah, they seem to get a wake-up call. You know what I'm talking about? Controversy started surrounding their head, started surrounding their table, and now then they are starting to really step it up. That vicious attack, obviously, Scott Steiner laying in the back, being looked over right now. And there you go, dog. Bring it up, baby.
Rick Steiner with a big forearm shot. Here's a scoop slam on Jerry Sags. And Rick Steiner taking up both men belly to belly.
And he might go ahead and get him a victory right here. Well, who is the referee that's letting this thing just go on?
It's Nick Patrick, but wait a minute.
Harlem Heat.
Harlem Heat, Colonel Parker, Sister Sherry.
Wow.
They're coming in for a little bit of payback. And here they are.
I'll tell you what, they're fighting everywhere. And you know what I'm talking about. There needs to be fighting everywhere. But you see, we always fighting ourselves.
No question about it. There's a lot. Watch out, cameraman in the way. People getting knocked down here.
Wow.
Watch out, there goes another one down.
Oh, man.
Spilling into a
Who is that? Who is that? Lex Luger. Who is that that's down?
As a matter of fact, Dream, it is going to be the 1-year anniversary of WCW Monday Night.
Yeah, and in 1 year, it is rose to lead the world of sports entertainment throughout the country.
Yes, it
That's
has.
the most watched program in the history of wrestling. Now, we on the mothership been here longer than anybody, but we all here together. We gotta sooner or later look up and face that fact, because bottom line is there is a threat, a serious threat, and it must be taken seriously, and it must be stopped. It must be put down.
The date to stop it, the date to put it down is the 15th of February. It is War Games, but what will this coming week hold for World Championship Wrestling? Here's a crossbody by Billy Kidman, one. Only a 1 count. We will find out, I'm sure. And we are on pins and needles here tonight as well. And now, Diamond Dallas tries to slow Billy Kidman down here.
Yeah, you can feel it in the arena. There's a real weirdness, a funk, if you will, hanging over this arena here on Saturday night. Not knowing what's going to happen next with the new world order in WCW where the big boys play. Billy Kidman right now tests the strength. Shortcut by Diamond Dallas Page. The Guerrero boys are looking for you, young man.
Side headlock applied into the ropes. Shoulder block takedown.
Dallas Page is mechanically sound. But man, I'm gonna tell you what, he has not changed his demeanor at all. I mean, as we know, crooked as the day is long.
Well, you're not kidding.
Can't trust him as far as you can throw him.
He reverses Billy Kidman, sends Kidman in, and a tremendous shoulder surge right to the midsection from Diamond Dallas. Diamond Dallas, actually a multi-talented individual when it comes to wrestling, but what an attitude. And maybe, even though he does not have the Battle Bowl ring, the title is Battle Bowl champion because he lost that ring to Eddie Guerrero, he still has the ring.
Whoa!
Here's the roll-up, 1, 2. But he does not have the ring in his possession. I think he's taking the ring back and he's hiding the ring.
Well,
maybe we get Gene Okerlund to ask him about it.
On all them occasions, as the Guerrero's got
got they job done, brother. He took it upon himself to not only whip them, stomp them, put mud holes in them, and try to take the name of the Guerreros down as the New World Order tried to erase the name on the sides of trucks, on the back of men as they lay prone, seriously hurt with that NWO and the spray can.
Get it off.
Here's a pickup, and here, Billy Kidman.
Got him.
Shines behind. What? Only Diamond Dallas quickly got out of that, and Diamond Dallas tries a clothesline. Billy Kidman, side headlock. He got him.
He needs to cover him right now. This could be a big win for Billy Kidman.
A Bulldog, don't celebrate, cover the man, and Billy Kidman making a cardinal error here.
Yeah.
Crossbody on Diamond Dallas, 1, 2, and boy, that was close.
Yeah, he needs to really try to put him away when you got him like that. Because Dallas is too smart, too sharp, don't want to get caught.
In the corner, here he goes, Diamond Cutter.
Wow, you ain't going to get up from that.
Not at all.
That's it. Devastating move. Devastating move.
Diamond Dallas gets the 1, 2, and 3 and defeats Billy Kidman. The Macho Man Randy Savage. Earlier today, he was in Las Vegas at the MGM Grand Garden box office as tickets went on sale for Halloween Havoc. Because of Halloween Havoc, he has the date with Hulk Hogan to recapture the World Heavyweight title. That, of course, Sunday, October 27th. But before that, as we've just seen, he must confront and battle the Giant. He'll go into that battle ready. He'll go into that battle loaded, as we've seen before. He is afraid of no man. But that is going to be a titanic struggle between the Giant and the Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah, because Macho Man Randy Savage went right on line and said, Giant, you let down WCW. You know, we both were there. We know that's not true. We've seen what happened.
He got hit in the head with a belt.
Wow, we've seen all that.
Yeah.
But Macho got this thing on his mind now. Maybe in a field of play might be at the very best top of his game right now. But the Giant really poses a gigantic test, majestic, if you will, as the majestic Rocky Mountains at Fall Brawl. The Wall Games only on pay-per-view. These two guys here, they can eat you up if you let them. Cobra and them better be ready.
Coming up this Monday, WCW Monday Nitro, live 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 2 full hours, proving each and every week, as you said earlier, Dream, the most watched wrestling television program in the history of our sport.
Most watched television program, period. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Incredible.
To the fact, and just goes, hats off to WCW where the big boys play.
In addition, tomorrow, 5:05 p.m. Eastern Time, WCW Pro, The Dream, Chris Cruz, Larry Zbyszko with 1 great hour of WCW action in the Pro here on TBS. Also, oh, wait a minute, here we go.
That's the only way to get him.
Pretty good strategy by Cobra and the Pitbull Sergeant Craig Pittman. They want to get a quick start here in this match, and you got to. Boy, the Barbarian shrugged that off and back up on the apron. Into the midsection of me.
That was like water off a duck's back.
That's what it was. In the corner, double team, Cobra and the Pitbull, both with military background. Jimmy Hart doing a lot of complaining here as well.
Well, he's saying this ain't a handicap match. He's talking about them guys just coming in and pounding, but that was the best offensive strategy that I see laid out there by Teddy Long.
Ming to the shoulders and kicked him in the side of the head that time. And here now comes the Barbarian. You know, of all the things that could happen coming up in Nitro, one thing that we know for sure, we don't know what's going to happen. I can tell you this, what if, here's a cover, 1, 2, what if Ted DiBiase sides with the Horsemen? That'll really put the balance of power, I would think, in the favor of WCW.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, that remains to be seen, and there's a lot of speculation running rampant about them because they held up 4 fingers and then a 5 and said next week is here almost, is here. And bottom line now, let me tell you a take on this thing. If I were Taskmaster, I would take these 2 guys right here, and I would stand them out by the TBS and TNT truck on both sides of the truck and say, bring your spray can, Bring it on out here. I'm gonna tell you what. He dumped not only his partner, but the opponent also out there. Look at them little rags they got there in front of him.
Dump the back of the head.
On the trunk.
Yeah, look at it.
Tell you what, face of fear. They have no fear. And we can't have no fear here at WCW.
Not at all.
I know we edgy. I mean, we edgy tonight. But man, come on. This is WCW where the big boys play.
Gouge to the eyes. Waist lock.
Take down.
Good take. How about this? And a float over the top. Ming showing a lot of mat wrestling ability
He's
there.
using a little out of the playbook of Craig Pitbull Pittman right there.
Sure is. He sure is. We still have the World TV title. A man who says he is going to make a play for some singles titles in this sport. Lord Steven Regal and the total package Lex Luger in this program still to come. And right now, though, Ming, the man from the island of Tonga. And here is the Barbarian as well. Snapmare takeover.
Yeah, and they are just relentless on getting the job done. I'm talking about these guys right here. Face to fit that stick in the grass, Jimmy Hart out there with that megaphone. Yes, Luger, Lord Steven Regal. One of the better matchups in a long time here on WCW Saturday Night. This should be a good one. But Lex Luger, to me, came out a little bit unscathed this past Monday night.
Both men over the top with headbutts on the pit bull and a save now by Cobra, preventing the possible 1, 2, 3 count. Randy Eller admonishing Cobra. And I tell you, two of the most powerful men against two fine mat wrestlers here in one of our tag team feature bouts here on Saturday night. And the Barbarian, Pitbull, is dazed. You've never seen him like this.
No, he's drowsed in days.
And
in a position right here to take the win.
Kicked down, how about it? Cobra comes to make the save again.
That's all he can do because Craig Pitbull Pittman was out on his feet, out on his back, and just now need to reach down and see if he can grab up some energy, but keep being pounded by Face of Fear. We talk about Dungeon of Doom, talk about Horseman, live Nitro, WCW TNT Nitro coming up live this Monday. All the big forces at WCW are going to be there. Will the New World Order raise its old ugly head again?
A pickup by the Pitbull.
Somehow got a tag too.
And he tags it. Cobra and a great drop kick. Down goes Ming. Down goes the Barbarian. Down goes Ming. How about it? And the Barbarian goes down. Great drop kick.
I'll tell you what, that was a good call.
What elevation. And, how about that back kick? 1, 2, 3. It was a great series of drop kicks by Cobra, but it took one kick to the teeth to end it for the Face of the Fear.
And that's how bad the Face of Fear are. And the Dungeon of Doom. Stick of the grass, Jimmy Hart. It's a wonder we ain't seen O'Brien out there running around.
You're not kidding.
I'm telling you.
The winner, the Faces of Fear, here on Saturday night.
Wow.
Time for our main event. We take you now to David Pinzer.
Introducing first the challenger, accompanied to the ring by Jeans, and representing the Blue Bloods from Blackpool, England, Lord Steven Regal.
Regal had made comment a couple of weeks back right here on this program that I'm not so sure he said didn't really say he was finished with the Blue Bloods. However, based on what we saw this past Monday, there's a lot of friction and now a lot of bad blood, not blue blood, between Earl Robert Eaton and Squire David Taylor.
Yeah, without a doubt, we've seen that thing brewing. Tony, on the other side of the coin right there. I agreed when he said he's better by himself. Some guys are. Opportunity knocking at his door tonight here on the mothership for the World Television title.
Back we go to David Pinzer again.
His opponent from Chicago, the WCW World Television Champion, the total package, Lex Luger.
If you joined us this past Monday on Nitro, right before the Horsemen were attacked, right before Sting was attacked, right before all that happened in the ring, Luger, knee in the back, went on the outside and was down. I don't think he got spray painted, I'm not sure. But Luger will be in the cage, along with Sting, along with Arn Anderson and Ric Flair. representing WCW. Luger, like Sting, like Arn, like Flair, a veteran of war games. He knows what it's all about.
Yes, he is. I've been in there with him in them situations of the war games on both sides. But once again, WCW proven competitively there's nobody that can touch him. Forms this thing tonight for the World Television title. Luger, Lord Steven Regal, right here on TBS, right here on Saturday night. What a matchup. Always looking. What an eerie night we've had. What a feeling of things happening and things going on around you. And I guarantee you, focusing in on this matchup, though, Lord Steven Regal grounding Luger, has to ground him. Luger has to use his quickness and his great ability and strength to try to get him up to rack him. Or Lord Steven Regal could take the World Television title right here tonight.
There's a part of me that says, as we get ready to go with this match, that as far as the NWO is concerned, there are only 3. They're just thugs. They're vandals. That's all they're good for. And that's about the end of it. But there's part of me that says maybe we had just seen the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
As the old cliche goes.
But Tony, they are more than thugs and things you see.
Vandals.
Yeah, they're more than that. Before you can take over, you must have somebody to lead or thinks he can lead that has been in power before. Somebody that has been very powerful. Hulk Hogan is unmatched by anybody as far as power in this industry. Now being turned and reincarnated into the vision of a thug. That's all he is. They are thugs. Now the vandalism starts. And it's used as a tool by a very powerful man. I said it the onslaught at the top of the program. He must be stopped. Has to be stopped. Start with the top before you start to tear down the NWO. And who is on top? We are talking about Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
Hogan, the world heavyweight champion. All right. And there is another champion. He is in the ring, and that is the total package, Lex Luger. And one thing that Regal will do, he will try to slow your momentum down. Regal likes to start out a match by really taking you off a step, getting you away from your game plan.
Yeah, he wants to feel you out, go ahead and try to break you down and use different parts of his body. Right here, one to the arm bar right there, and it's got it wrenching up on it. Big old arms of total package Lex Luger coming right back with a reversal, coming back with another wind, coming back with another wind. Now then, got him in a position to go to the headlock, maintaining a ride on Lord Steven Regal.
Side headlock applied, and Nick Patrick, the referee, assigned for this World TV title match, checking in.
Oh, my goodness. Well, we know, credentials-wise,
reversal
about Nick Patrick. Whoa. Could he get him in the backslide?
Big powerful arms and shoulders running down, got a 2 count only. Regal escaped, could not escape the hip toss that time. How about that? Mexican-style arm drag takedown.
I'll tell you what, Luger looks real good tonight, so does Regal, but Luger really looks on top of his game. And focusing in on defending his title is important. What happened past Monday, what's going to happen this Monday coming up, or what's going to happen at the War Game should not be really on his mind. It's hard to erase it. But right now, he has a challenge from Lord Steven Regal, who is find a mat technician to ever walk in the squared circle, and he wants to be World Television Champion once again.
That's right, he has, as you said, Dream, he has been the television champion of the world, and he wants to be that TV champ once again. Lateral press, could not get it, and Luger just powers, literally powers right out of this one. Luger back up to a vertical base.
Yeah, he cannot outpower Lex Luger.
Not at all. About stomping on the hands one time, and Lex Luger.
Well, and get him right. That was a round look.
Boy,
yeah, he had a
got his dander up.
His dander was all over his head there, brother. His eyeballs was poking out, and his dander was up. You ain't lying.
And Nick Patrick sending Luger back now.
Well, he's doing the right thing.
Yes, he is.
I mean, you know, call for call in the past 10 years, there's not been a better referee than Nick Patrick.
Exactly.
But as of late, he seems to have fallen on good time for him.
Now remember, it all goes back, and it starts back on Hog Wild. If you saw that pay-per-view telecast, you know that it appeared as if he hit Luger on purpose in the back of the knee.
Break. Well, we were all astonished by that. Yes. Even Bobby the Brain Heenan, who was sitting there with us, was astonished by that.
He was astonished, wasn't he?
Could hardly talk after it happened.
Well, you're not kidding. We were all shocked about that.
Yes, we were.
And there Nick Patrick is warning Lord Steven Regal, and there's a European uppercut. Back to the corner and a forearm shot to the side of the face. And Regal literally manhandling Luger, pounding and stomping him down to the mat.
They try to lull you to sleep sometimes. I'm talking about Lord Steven Regal. And you get in a situation where you say, I'm just going to be mat wrestling. And then he goes ahead and lets this mean streak come out. And I'll tell you right now, he is really ragtagging one Lex Luger for this World Television title here on Saturday night. Backing off of him. Shouldn't do that. Once you got him down, there you go. I mean, that strategy has to be used by both men. Can't let him up.
Regal using the ropes, choking Lex Luger here on Saturday night. And pounds right between the shoulder blades here now. So Lord Steven Regal with the offense going his way. Hoping to regain the TV title against a man who's held it for a number of months now. The total package, Lex Luger. Lateral press got him down. 1, 2, notice. And we notice so many times how he drives the forearm to the side of the head during the lateral press.
Yeah, everything he does is meant to give you pain. And right there, I mean, that forearm across the cheekbone really can hurt you. Takes the wind out of you.
A lot of questions need to be answered, and hopefully live this Monday, 2 hours of WCW Monday Nitro will answer the questions. What will happen this week? What other level can the NWO take this bitter rivalry that's going on in WCW and in pro wrestling that's heading towards War Games Fall Brawl? What level can they take it to? What does Ted DiBiase have in store for World Championship Wrestling? He says 1 week we'll find out. We will find out live this Monday, hopefully, on Monday Nitro. Into the forearm shot, top of the head. Lex Luger rebounding here.
Yeah, he come out and he fired right on him with that forearm. And like I say, Luger now seems to be intense, throwing out everything that's happened in the past and really concentrating on going to work right here inside this square circle here. TBS lays him down again. Lays him down a second time.
Lex Luger, the champ.
Can he wreck him?
That's what well, I thought maybe he'd try to do it, but he's going to try a vertical suplex here, maybe. Luger's got him up. Lex Luger's got him down.
Cover him.
He's going to cover 1, 2, foot's on the rope.
Whoa, saved just barely.
And Nick Patrick saw it. Only a 2 count. To the eyes goes Regal.
If you get in too close, that happens. And you're not watching what's going on, you won't be able to see with something like that. Boy, he get him with that heavy steel forearm. Really cracked him outside.
Regal to the outside. Luger will follow him out there. Double axe handle blow. And Lex Luger will roll him back in. The total package, Lex Luger will roll him back in.
Hey, look at this.
We've got outsiders.
I can't believe it. I do it.
It's Hall and Nash. The outsiders here on Saturday night. They've got Luger. Oh, they've sent him into the post. Luger's down.
Watch out.
And the outsiders are leaving.
Well, they're coming right by us over here, too.
And Nick Patrick didn't even see it.
No, of course not. Of course not. Lex Luger rammed hard by the outsiders. Another vicious attack right here on Saturday night.
When will it stop? Luger obviously dazed. He's out on he's out. 1, 2, 3.
Unbelievable.
Regal wins it.
Man. Oh, what
The match.
Lord Steven Regal.
WCW World Television Champion,